days, it seems that everyone wants to be a mermaid. With mermaid tails flying off the shells, it's like the opposite of The Little Mermaid, where people want to trade in their human legs for fins. Well, for centuries, people have supposedly spotted mermaids, and sightings continue to this day. As we get ready to dive in, take a moment to subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up. While you're looking for mermaids, keep a lookout for our comment shoutout, where we shine the spotlight on one of our amazing viewers. It's going to be fantastic. Minnesota mermaid. In October 2017, in Minnesota, an Australian man was hanging out at the beach when he noticed something strange on the shore. He saw men in yellow hazmat suits carrying a person onto a stretcher. The problem was that the person had a green fin from the waist down. Were these men trying to get medical attention to a mermaid, or were they taking her to a secret lab for experimentation? The world will never know. Ladysmith mermaid. In Cape Town, South Africa, over by a mountain peak known as Vryhoek, a mermaid was spotted in October 2013. The mermaid was spotted by a woman who not only saw it but saved its life. The woman's name was Fasani Duma, and she heard the mermaid screaming for help as it needed to get back in the water. Duma did so, and she later described the mermaid as Caucasian and blonde, and it spoke Zulu. Oddly enough, the river where the mermaid was spotted has since dried up. Russian mermaid. In Russia, a mysterious creature was spotted in a lake. At first, people thought it was the Loch Ness Monster, but considering that Nessie would be about 4,000 miles from home, it was back to the drawing board. Locals believe that the creature could very well be a mermaid that has taken up residence in the lake. It's quite an interesting story, but how would the mermaid get there in the first place if it didn't have legs? Details, people! New Zealand mermaid. Off the coast of South Island in New Zealand, 7 fishermen from Papua New Guinea had concerns that they had found human remains on the sandy beaches. After calling the cops, everyone realized that the remains weren't of any human origin. It was clear that there was a fish-like structure from the waist down. This caused people to believe that they had found the resting place of a mermaid. We're not so sure. Bering Sea mermaid. Apparently, people like Shakespeare and even Pliny the Elder claim to have seen mermaids. Maybe that mermaid sighting inspired Shakespeare when he was writing The Tempest? In 1608, a man named Henry Hudson wrote an account of a mermaid he saw in the Bering Sea. There was a woman in the water with pale skin and black hair. From the waist up, she was human, but from her belly button down, she was noted to have the bottom half like a porpoise. It's that time again to give a shout out to one of our amazing viewers. Olam the Awesome says, "I love you so much, the richest. I have been watching for 2 years now." We sure do appreciate you, Olam. We love hearing from you. Back to the mermaids. John Smith's mermaid. Most of us know who John Smith is. If you only know American history from the Disney movie Pocahontas, it's the same guy. Side note, the movie isn't historically accurate. Anyway, sometime in the 1600s, he was a sailor exploring the West Indies. He saw a woman in the water with green hair, and apparently she was very attractive, according to Smith. When she dove into the water, he was shocked to see that she was actually a mermaid. There is some speculation as to whether Smith actually wrote the account, but it's interesting nonetheless. Dearness mermaid. Newark Bay, Scotland became the center of multiple mermaid sightings in 1890. People witnessed a mermaid climb onto nearby rocks with her arms and then slither back into the water. It was believed that the mermaid was about 7 feet long with black hair and pale skin. According to the rumor, she was not a fan of the people who so badly wanted a glimpse of her. The human fish. In 1943, the world was embroiled in a global conflict and the Japanese were at the forefront. Japan had set up a surveillance team on the Kai Islands in Indonesia. During their watch, they saw a creature with spines on its back, a mouth like a carp, and it had a humanoid shape. Later, local villagers caught a creature that looked very similar to the one seen earlier. The creature was named the Orang Ikan, translated to the human fish. Hebridean mermaid. In 1830, off the coast of the island of Benbecula in Scotland, a group of people were cutting seaweed when a woman saw a creature in the water. It looked like a miniature woman. The woman called the men over to see her discovery, and they started going after the creature. Kids even threw rocks at it and struck it in the back. A few days later, the creature's body washed up on shore, and the locals were confident that they had seen a mermaid. Mermaid title. The stories you just heard will definitely not be the last you hear of mermaid sightings. In fact, the sightings might get more rampant. There are organizations and communities dedicated to people who want to become mermaids. In fact, Northampton just hosted a Miss Mermaid International competition where dozens of people gathered for a mermaid competition. Okay, so maybe these aren't real mermaids, but who's to say that these people aren't real mermaids at heart? So maybe not all of these sightings had real mermaids, but it's enough to keep the dream alive. Do you believe in mermaids or other mythical creatures? Let us know what you think in the comments, and be sure to give this video a like. Stick around for a bit because our next video is coming right up. Anyway, we sure hope you had a good time.